the hesitation is an indication that something is not right.
Yes. Maybe take a step back and deal with your issues because he's moving right.
There's something I'm afraid will happen. Face it. Hello and welcome back to the Black Swan Life podcast, right here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, where we teach you, ladies and gentlemen, how to do love and life the Black Swan way. If that sounds good to you, do not forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment. And I have the esteemed Yvonne. You're like, do you have nobody else? No, she's the best we can do right now. We love you.
Thanks.
We love you here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. We can't do without you. And I know that the coaches, some of our coaches will be back in action. They've gone away to study. Some of them are, taking their kids back to nursery. Some are in Canada. They're all over the world. And so we will be hopefully introducing more and more so that they can answer more and more of your questions and you can enjoy their expertise. But we will have our very solid and very reliable and very educated Coach Yvonne to assist us right here.
Hi.
Fantastic. So we are continuing with our series. We are still in the comment section, really having a conversation with you. And since we have, uploaded these videos, we are getting way more comments and we are definitely interacting more with you, which is what we love as we make this Black Swan community strong and vital, and we dispense the education as and when we need it. So let's continue and let's talk about today's question. Coach Yvonne, do you have today's question from the comments section?
I have today's question
Yes.
from the comments section. And hi, everyone. Okay, today's question is from Randan7804. And it's from your video. When a man says he loves you, what does he really want? And she says, help. She says, she's been in a relationship for 4 years. I haven't moved in yet. He's getting frustrated with me. Now he's remodeling a home for me to move into to be closer to him, right around the corner. Should I do it? He's only charging me $500 a month.
Righty-ho, okie dokie. So let me just make sure that I'm super clear on this question. Basically, this young lady has been dating for 4 years, has been in a relationship for 4 years. It appears as though this gentleman has been asking her to move in. She has not moved in, so I'm assuming that there's hesitation of some kind. And therefore, he is getting frustrated with her because she's not willing to move in with him and progress the relationship to the next level. Some women have real problems, don't they? Oh, goodness. I know a woman or two who would swap with you.
Yes.
Now he's taken to remodeling a home that is near him. So instead of her moving in, he's respecting her pacing, and he has decided a compromise will be to buy a home, remodel it, move her in. So you've probably obviously seen the home. Maybe you said, I don't like the bathroom, I don't like the kitchen. And then maybe he's making this big investment so that you can be closer to him. I don't know what the distance is here, whether you're dating a long distance or, it's a shorter distance, but proximity is what he's after. And he's saying, look, probably living here would cost, £2,000, but for you, just pay £500. It'll be cheaper, maybe from where you're at. So maybe he's saving you some money, or maybe he's keeping things lighter and easier for you. However, I get that this is a man that is committed. This is a man that has found a woman that he wants, and he wants, to progress the relationship. He is pacing the relationship as the masculine should. It's the role of the masculine to pace the relationship, and it's the role of the feminine to pace the sexual dynamic of the relationship. So he feels that he wants more from her. And this is, Houston, you have a problem.
Yes.
Because when a man, you always have a problem. This is like a general rule. A woman always has the problem when the pace that the man is taking is not congruent with her. So it's a problem if he's pacing things really fast and he doesn't feel safe to you. It's a problem if he's pacing things really super slow and he doesn't feel safe with you. Then Houston, we do have a problem. And often those problems we can externalize them and say, oh, he's not serious. If he's not moving fast enough for a woman, we can say, oh, he's just not serious, he's a time waster. He may very well be a time waster. Or if he's moving real fast, we might say he's a love bomber, narcissistic love bombing, and we can easily jump to conclusions because it's so much easier than actually taking the time to think about me. So this lady, like most of us watching this podcast, have externalized internal problems. So this is, hey, I need help. Should I move in with him? Should I do it? Should I perform this act? And she's failed to ask the question of, okay, I'm aware he's frustrated, but what's going on with you? Where's the hesitation?
Yes. Yes.
The hesitation is an indication that something is not right.
Yes.
Either with the relationship, with the man, or with you.
Yes.
And what I'm getting here from what I'm seeing is 4 years is a patient man. Because when a man wants what he wants, and he's mature and is ready, it's not only 4 years for you to be making up. So he's a patient man. He's obviously decided that and he's investing a lot of money. That's one of the key indicators when a man, a man and his money, they're one and the same thing. Okay.
Ain't that the truth?
A man, women can make a lot of money, but we don't identify with it.
Yeah.
We use it, we spend with it, but we don't identify with it. Men identify very much with their money. So if he's investing his money into you, he's remodeling a house just so you can be close. This man is committed. So, and I found a lot of women will entertain a good guy. And this is kind of what creates a lot of this rage and anger, because what I'm sensing is you don't want this man.
Yes. Yes.
But he's too good to let go.
Yes.
You don't want another woman enjoying the benefits of this man. So you're not letting somebody's son go, right? You're not allowing this man and you're not giving yourself permission to say, this is not the relationship for me. Or you have an avoided attachment style. Perhaps you do love him. Perhaps you do appreciate him. Perhaps you care, but you have trauma that has made you attached to a man, to the world, in a way that you're always seeking space, distance. And this is typical, obviously, of the avoidant person, is that they when they get close, when people get close, it's threatening. It doesn't feel safe. So they're always seeking distance and separation. And it has nothing to do with their feelings for the other person. She probably may adore him, but closeness, intimacy is a problem if she's avoidant. And so we have to really look at, here, the Black Swan, we're always going to work with you first. Like, what is broken in you that makes this feasible for 4 years? Like, what's not working in you? And I said in you because you're not broken.
Yes.
But there are things that are broken in you.
Yes.
And your brokenness is not you. It's just, it's like when you got a cold, you're not a cold. You have a cold.
Yes.
There's something not right. So, when I say what's broken in you, I don't want people to feel like she's trying to say any woman that doesn't want to move in is broken. I'm saying there's something broken in you for you to entertain a relationship with somebody who wants that closeness, that intimacy and progression in the relationship, and you don't want that. So maybe you're afraid to start again. Maybe you're afraid that you will never find love again. But we have to sit down and introspect, and we have to ask the right questions, and we have to do a full analysis. We were just talking to PJ. People don't know who PJ is, but you'll know who PJ is. We'll bring him on camera. We're like, come and show your face here. And he was just saying to us that, we don't always understand, people don't always understand what we're talking about. But, I'm sure somebody's listening and saying, what do you mean? Why would I call you? Why would I even come and talk to you about this? And what exactly would be going on? And really, it's a conversation. With us, where we can ask you the right questions to get to the right problem and help you develop the self-awareness to know yourself, and then prescribe a process. Whenever you work with us at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, you are going to pretty much be giving 3 to 6 months of your life to
Yeah.
the dedication of healing, working through some psychological stuff, healing your trauma, figuring out your love map, figuring out your blueprint for love, rewriting your blueprint for love. And again, all of that sounds a lot, which is why we always say make a call. But we will probably do more
Yes.
towards PJ's suggestion, to make sure that you all really truly have an understanding of what we can do for you. But I'm really interested in your thoughts, Coach Yvonne. What are your thoughts on this situation?
My thoughts on this when I first read it, and when we were looking at this, we kept on reading it to make sure that, are we getting what's going on here?
Yeah, you kept going,
I kept on, because every time I saw it, I kept on thinking, no, hold on a minute, 4 years.
Yeah.
And normally when you think somebody's been dating for 4 years,
Yeah.
they're married now. They've moved in together if they haven't been married. They're in the process of buying a house. The relationship should be solid at that time.
Right.
At 4 years, you shouldn't be saying, well, should I move in? Evidently, you're not sure.
Right.
And if you're not sure, then do you want to do it because you think, you know what, half a bread is better than nothing, so let me settle for this?
Yes.
But when we settle for something, it just makes our lives miserable because we're not getting what we want.
Yeah.
It's, the doctor says the leg is broken.
Yeah.
And the leg is knitted back together. But you need to go to physio so that the leg can be strengthened. But you say, no, I'm fine. It's all right. I don't need physio. And you hobble around on it. And then one day it breaks again. And this is what's going to keep going on, because whatever it is that's going on the inside of you, you then need to get that sorted, because if you don't get it sorted, you will leave this one,
right?
Because I'm not ready, and I really don't want to, go this route yet. If it's, it's an avoidance issue here. So if you don't want to go the issue with this one, you meet another one and he's so gorgeous, he's lovely, and it's just the right man for me, and everything in the garden's fine. And then it's 18 months and you're asking the same question, should I move in?
Right.
There's an issue here that really is crying out. You're crying out for help. And the best way that we here at Black Swan can help you is to ask you to go on the website, look at what it is that we do, and book a call.
Absolutely.
Book a call with one of the coaches so that we can ask you the questions. Ask you what is it that attracted you to this man in the first place?
Right.
What is it? Did you ever put a list together of your core needs? Do you know what you want in a man, how you want the man to provide for you, what it is that you want to, where do you want to go with him, what future you may have with him? If the answer to these questions are no, I haven't done any of these things, but he's all right, and I think he really likes me, then what you need to do is to maybe take a step back and deal with your issues, because he's moving right. You're not, because after 4 years, you shouldn't be asking, should I?
Yes, and we also need to learn to play fair.
Yes.
I'm that's really big for me at the academy. We have to play fair. It's not okay to spend somebody's 4 years.
Yes.
It's not okay.
You're not
it's not
getting it
okay
back.
for you to be unsure about another human being for 4 years, and that person is sure about you.
Yeah.
And when it's happening to us women, we act like, you can't believe he wasted 5, 4, 10 years of my life. But I'm glad this question has come about, because women can see that women are doing it to men too. Because I think sometimes the conversation can be so one-sided.
Yes.
And I think that, this idea of, and I think it's also a scarcity mindset, this kind of, I might not win again. But again, this is not a question that you go to an expert and say, shall I stay?
Yes.
Yesterday my DMs, I had a question, of a lady, and she's kind of reeling all of these things. And then the question finally is, shall I marry him? I'm like, honey, there's some questions nobody gets to answer for you.
Yes.
No one.
Yeah.
who you marry, that has to be on you 100%. Like, that has to be on you. Hey there, Swan. Have you ever considered that it wasn't you who found this channel, but rather this channel found you? The video you're watching didn't simply happen to you, and you didn't just randomly choose to watch it. I believe you're meant to be here right now because you are a black swan, even if you don't realize it yet. You see, the teacher appears when the student is ready. And my dear, I believe you're ready, but are you willing to embrace the rare and exquisite existence? If your answer is yes, and only if it's yes, I invite you to click the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and like this video. Let the journey begin. And this is the same question.
Yeah.
Who you move in
Yeah.
with, who you love. You know, I can tell you, I've had clients where I have been like, I don't like your partner. I would never tell them that.
Yeah.
Because I don't get to choose that. And even when we do the work, can you still choose that person? The only thing I'm going to do is tell you the cost of loving that person.
Yes.
I'm going to say to you, look, if you choose, as you have chosen guy A, be prepared to spend the next 10 years of your life negotiating this point, negotiating that point, negotiating that point, fighting about this, negotiating this. If you have the patience, if you're prepared to learn, if you're prepared to get the support, that's going to work. But this is the cost. That's as far as I go. And I think, you know, as coaches and, you know, people can believe that our job is to make decisions for people.
Yeah.
We're not therapists, so we don't have a hands-off, you figure it out along the way as you talk. You know, that's kind of talk therapy is more about the person eventually finding the answers from within themselves. Therapy is about regulation and balance, like I always say. And we need a place for that. We need a place to unravel, to speak. Coaching is very different. Coaching is more directive, more goal orientated. We can give you a lot of very straightforward advice, but I draw the line at who you marry.
Yes. Who you
right.
live in with.
Who I don't care. Should I marry him? That's not even for me to ask. However, what I can do is give you access to yourself to get greater clarity about that.
Yes.
And sometimes we're asking the wrong questions. Should I move in with him? That's the wrong question.
Yes.
The right question is, what is stopping me from moving in with him?
And why have I waited so long?
And why have I waited so long?
Yeah, because...
And, you know, I said to a client of mine yesterday, you know, she's in between and betwixt, and she's kind of trying to, should I be with this guy, shouldn't I be? You know, there's a lot of that going on lately, a lot of uncertainty. And I said to her, look, if you leave him, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because you could be starting over. You're going to be going on a million dates and wanting to cry in your soup. If you stay, it's going to be hard. But we have to ask ourselves this particular question. And it's two questions. What is the pain I'm avoiding? And what is the fear I'm avoiding? What is the fear I'm afraid to confront? Because whenever we get to a place of indecision in life, it's not really that we don't know what to do. It's there's something I'm afraid will happen. Face it. Take a piece of paper and write down your greatest fears. If I go left, these are my fears. If I go right, these are my fears. And what pain am I avoiding? The pain of loneliness, the pain of, you know, starting, whatever the pain is, because human beings flee pain. And we avoid the things that make us afraid.
Yes.
But what we don't understand is that pain is our greatest teacher.
Yes.
That pain is an opportunity, and our fears are the doorway to our future. You know, whatever you fear, the day you confront it, you enter into your future.
Yes.
David did not fear the giant, but the fact that maybe he did, he was afraid. He faced the fear, and that brought him into his future. Anyone in life who has ever progressed to any level of success has walked through the door of their fears. You're never ever going to know any level of success unless you overcome your fears. You know, when you started working here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy, I would have had to drug
Don't.
your coffee for you to sit down and be in front of a camera. I remember Coach Yvonne was like, sit next to me, we could
My
just
first
sit
session,
here.
I kept on rocking.
Yeah, you were like, yes, because, And I remember thinking, geez, don't have a heart attack on me, love.
I think I didn't breathe for a week.
And I don't know anyone who attains greatness without walking through the door. With your future is always hidden behind your fears.
Yeah.
We have to fight our demons. And so I said to my client yesterday, I said, when you are ready to face your fears, whatever that is, I want you to go away and think about that. And we're going to talk about that, when you come back, I want you to go and think about that and sit with that and tell me, what are you most afraid of? Mm-hmm. Are you afraid that if I don't marry him, I'm going to be left on the shelf? We need to face that. Mm-hmm. We can't run away from that, because we don't ask that question today. We're going to ask it in the marriage.
Yes.
When 3 kids are on the line.
Yes.
That's too late to ask that question, because you don't get to not pay the piper.
Unfortunately.
Right? You don't avoid not paying the piper. I was saying to a male client the other day, he did a discovery call, and he wanted to figure out why he can't seem to really get love. And I told him what he needed to do, and I could tell he was resistant to the process. And I said to him, look, I honestly am not invested in the outcome here. But what I will tell you is that, Houston, we have a problem. Mm. It's a bit like cancer. If you catch it quick enough, we can operate. It's still going to suck. Mm-hmm. You might still have to have radiation or whatever it is, but your chances of survival are pretty high. And I said to him, or we leave it because it's too inconvenient to face the facts. Mm. You marry someone, and 10 years from now, you're getting divorced. Mm. And it's the thing you didn't deal with when you had an opportunity to do it. Mm-hmm. And I think that a lot of us, because we're so afraid to face our fears, because we have a bad relationship with pain. If you're ever going to be successful in relationships, you must develop a healthy relationship with pain. You must develop a healthy relationship with rejection. Mm.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
100%.
Yes.
You must develop a healthy relationship with conflict. Mm. You must develop a healthy relationship with boredom. There are some things that if you're going to succeed in relationships, they're yucky feelings. Mm. But you must develop a relationship with them. You must be able to sit with your fears, know exactly what they are, and go anyway. Yeah. You must be able to sit with, you must be able to see conflict in your relationship arising and not run from it. Yeah. And see it for what it is, and say, okay, this conflict is introducing the next level of our relationship, the upgrade to our relationship. I love conflict in relationships. They're amazing opportunities for growth and love. When you see that old couple sitting on the park holding hands, old and in love, they were champions at handling conflict, not at falling in love.
Yes. People
think that manifestation is as a result of deep love for it. They just loved. It was about loyalty. It was, all of these things are necessary. But you don't deepen the relationship and give it deeper meaning. Because you see, at the end of the road, marriage is mainly boring, especially if it's healthy. Yeah. The healthiest marriages are so boring, because there's that predictability, there's all of that going on. And boring is good. That's why I'm saying you have to have a good relationship with boring. You can't, if you are bored and you start getting up to no good, whether it's a day and you start, violating yourself and others because you're bored, you can't be married. You can't be in a relationship. Boredom is something you have to create a relationship with. You have to, see boredom and allow yourself to be bored and do something productive or not. But you can't run away from it because boredom is definitely part of a relationship spectrum. In fact, many divorces are out of boredom. People's inability to manage and have a relationship with boredom. That's where a lot of affairs come from. Boredom. Because you never learned how to be bored. It's a skill. Yeah. Be bored, and still honor yourself. Learn how to manage the emotion and the feeling of boredom in your body, because it's a state of the nervous system that's calm.
Yes.
Boredom is an indication that your nervous system is calm. And so our lives are so full of chaos that we don't even know what to do with that. So I really believe that, we need to develop these kind of unhealthy relationships. And so once we help you to develop a healthy relationship with your shadow, with the parts of yourself, with the shame, with the guilt, with the fear, you are better able to make these life decisions, because this decision is a very easy decision.
Yes. Yeah.
But you're entangled in your inability to navigate your personal emotions and your fears. Your fears have you, right? You don't have fears.
Yes.
See, powerful people have fears. Their fears don't have them. People who like power are overcome by their fears. People who like power overcome by pain. When you go to the gym, you want to be fit, you want to build some muscle, you better lift heavy.
Yes.
If you don't want to lift heavy, you are going to have a podgy tummy.
Yes.
Or you're going to have a body that has less muscle, whatever the story is. So therefore, in order for me to develop and create a body that will last, that is strong, I must have a healthy relationship with the pain that comes with lifting.
Yes.
I've been lifting for 2 years and nothing is painful. I'm not even going to lie. It burns. I think I spent most of the time walking around my PT going, oh, that's sore. Like, but I've learned to develop a relationship with the burn. When my body starts to burn, I know I am unlocking the next level.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you will find that decisions are easy. Same way emotionally. If you are prepared to sit with your fears, but not let them have
Yes.
you. You
Yeah.
can have fears, you're
Yes.
human, but don't let them have you. Then these decisions, who should I marry, who shouldn't I marry?
Yes.
They're pretty simple.
Very much so.
Yeah.
And I think the last point is that, when you're talking about pain, and have a relationship with it, because pain is the body's way of telling us, Houston, we have a problem.
That's right.
Something is wrong.
Yes.
And so if you don't, be
Attend
at
to
one
it.
with it,
Yeah.
you're gonna, when you go to the doctor, he'll say, but had you come sooner, we would have been able to do. And it's the same thing with relationships. When you're in the relationship and you know something is wrong, and this young lady, I think you said earlier, she knows what she needs to do. She genuinely does.
We all do.
But it's a case of, I want you to tell me.
Yes.
And if you tell me, then the responsibility of it is not me. It's you.
The experts told me to leave.
You told me to leave him. Or you said, no, move in with him. And now he's a monster.
Yes.
And it's your fault, because
Yes.
I don't want to make that responsibility. I
Yes.
have the responsibility
Yes.
of this. I want to foster it on you.
Yes.
And because you say you're the expert, so you tell me what I must do, and then I'll do it.
Yes.
And then we go skipping off down the road, and Chengi says I must do.
Exactly.
And, we feel at peace because you
Yes.
told us what to do. But
Yes.
at the end of the day, somebody's going to not tell you what to do,
Yeah.
and then what happens then?
Exactly.
So...
Because, here's the thing. You're going to have the pain of making the decision and doing the
Yes.
work, or you're going to have the pain that comes from making the wrong decision.
Yes.
Right? I just believe that pain, suffering, fear, big monsters under the bed, they don't get to go away. But our ability to coexist,
Yes.
to have mastery over them, accept their presence in our lives, is what makes us mature.
Yes. And it's nothing to do with age.
No. The immature in life don't want any struggle.
Yes.
The immature don't want to have conflict in relationships. It's not love unless we're just walking down in the
Yes.
park and
Yes.
screaming and,
Yeah.
it's not real. If my partner has a completely different opinion from mine,
Yes.
it's
That's okay.
yeah, it's immature.
Yes.
And that's why I always say to people, relationships are for the mature. Sex is for everybody. Go have sex if sex is what you want, go have sex. But if you're saying I want a relationship,
Yeah.
then you are stepping up to maturity.
Yeah.
And maturity, as we all know, when we were kids, there were no repercussions. We could climb on the sofa, break things. My son was breaking the radiator, jumping on it, right? But when you get older, you don't get to do that.
Yes.
You get to put childish ways behind you. You get to understand that adulting is waking up to go to a job you don't like every single day so you can eat.
Yes.
Right? You understand that I don't get to do what I want all the time.
Yeah.
And you get to regulate yourself. So, if you do not want to, kind of navigate the darkness of life, then you suddenly have no business looking for a partner.
Very much so.
And please don't waste anybody else's time in the process.
Yes.
And I don't mean that in a scolding way, but in a general way that let's sow the seed that we want to harvest for.
Yes.
If you are going to waste people's time in ambiguity, you're going to meet it over there because you're going to meet that guy that you really, 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 really want, and he's going to be ambiguous with you.
Yes.
Then he's going to drag you for 4 years because guess what? God will not be mocked. Whatever a man sows, that also shall he reap.
Yeah.
So, and some people will say karma.
Yes.
What goes around comes around. So we have to navigate relationships with the understanding that they will mirror back everything we've ever done to other people.
Very much so.
And it won't be nice.
And it genuinely isn't. And this is why, we're charged to be careful how we treat people.
That's right.
Because you'll never know who you're going to meet tomorrow.
That's right.
So these are very important lessons
Indeed.
for us to learn.
Absolutely.
And on that note,
I think we're done with this one this week. We just got one question for you, and we will be back, I'm sure, with more. But we want to hear from you. We want to make sure that we are having conversations here on this channel that are going to serve you, mature you, grow you, and ultimately create healthy relationships. I hope that you enjoyed today's episode. But in the meantime, take care of you and other people. Love you lots. Bye-bye now.
bye everyone.